Namaste everyone, this is Sandeep and welcome to my channel Only Study by Sandeep Dhiman. Today we are going to start new lesson number 12, Turkish invasions in North India. Okay, let's start. So here we know that many small kingdoms were emerged in different parts of India, but their rule was limited to specific regions and they were constantly aspired, means desired. They desired to expand their boundaries, and the frequent wars among the Rajputs resulted in political disunity in North India, and this attracted invasions by the Turks. Okay, now one name you need to remember, you need to memorize is Abbadis Caliphs of Baghdad. Okay, he recruited Turks as guards and professional soldiers, and by the end of the 9th century, the power of caliphs weakened, and slowly these Turks took over the power and became governors of the provinces, and some of them asserted their independence from the caliphs. One governor who conquered Ghazni in Afghanistan started a new lineage of rulers known as Ghaznabis. Hope up to here everything is clear to you. Look here in the map. Ghazni is here in Afghanistan area, and they attacked here where Gurjara Pratihara were ruling. Okay, look here now. Let's read about Mahmud Ghazni. Mahmud Ghazni is very famous in Indian history, and he was born in 971 CE and ascended the throne in 998 CE, and he decided to invade. Invade means attack. He decided to attack northwest India, where the Gurjara Pratihara Empire had become weak due to frequent battles with Palwas and Rashtrakutas. Okay, hopefully up to here everything is clear to you. Now, important thing is that Mahmud Ghazni invaded India 17 times in 27 years. His first attack was in 1000 CE and last one was in 1027 CE. He wanted to make Ghazni a powerful empire. Ghazni was a small, hilly and poor region, and Mahmud Ghazni wanted to make it powerful. He gained control of Afghanistan and Khorasan, and he was attracted by the wealth of India, by the great wealth of India, and he started plundering towns and temples. Plundering means destroying towns and temples in North India like Nagarkot, Thanesar, Mathura, and Kannauj. His most destructive and most famous attack was on Somnath Temple. It was in 1025 CE. This temple is situated in the sea coast of Gujarat. Okay, where is Somnath temple? It is in Gujarat. Rajput warriors put off a stiff resistance. Okay, they tried to stop him, but they lost. And Mahmud broke the idol. Idol means statue of Somnath, and looted property worth rupees 20 million rupees. And some of the historians are the opinion that the main objective of Muhammad Ghazni was to propagate Islam and gain popularity among Muslims. Okay, Mahmud's invasions exposed the weakness of Indian rulers and paved the way for the establishment of Muslim rule in India. Mahmud Ghazni was the first one to pave the way for the establishment of Muslim ruler, and the second was Muhammad Ghori, and mostly they both are known as the first rulers. Trade interest also attracted many Muslims to settle in India, and this period saw the development of close cultural interaction between India and Islamic Central Asia. But Mahmud's destruction of valuable and artistic temples and idols was a great loss for Indian heritage. Now look here, do you know Ghazni is remembered? In India, Ghazni is remembered as a plunderer. Plunderer means destroyer, okay, of towns and temples. But in his country, means in Afghanistan, in Ghazni, he is remembered as a great builder of beautiful mosques, palaces, and libraries. Firdausi, who was a poet, wrote Shahnama, and in which he praised the steps taken by Mahmud Ghazni to propagate Islam and build up Ghazni as a great empire. Okay. He also entrusted Al-Biruni to write an account of Indian subcontinent known as Kitab ul Hind. Okay, who wrote Kitab ul Hind? Al-Biruni. Okay, this is all for the day. In next video, we'll discuss about Muhammad Ghori. Okay, this is Muhammad Ghori, and in our next video, we'll discuss about him. Now, I'm assigning you some homework. Find out at least 10 one liner questions from this chapter. Okay, thank you.